Hello, and this video we're going to be discussing a bit about YCS Birmingham that happened over the weekend. I didn't go down, but I did watch the semi-finals and the finals of the event, and that was quite exciting and interesting. So, for those of you who don't know, YCS, this is our event which you can go to, and you can, big events, I think there's just under 2,500 people who went to this one, and yeah, people battled, and you play Swiss like Hobby League, then you have a knockout. I think they did top 64, and yeah, we had some surprise. Fire King's structure deck won. That deck came out about December 2023. So it's older and it was played in a more pure format. So just the 3 structure decks and 3 copies of Alcanax, which is not in the structure deck. And I saw it go up against Atlantean Mermail, which is a huge lore thing there in Yu-Gi-Oh! And it ended up against Ryseal Malice. The other semi-final was Ryseal versus Malice, and it went up against Bestial Malice, which it won 2-1. It's interesting because, and yesterday went up the deck list, and I'll leave a link in the description so you can look at it and you can see what the list was and why certain things were played. So yeah, we say it's interesting. This isn't meta. When a Malice Ryseal format, kind of hoping Blue Eyes might improve. Well, some people are hoping Blue Eyes might add something, but we'll wait and see what happens. But it's basically played about 50% was made up of entries with Malice and Ryseal variants. And then we get a Fire Kings list, which Runix can add a bit of protection against Ryseal, and it can do that, but the Malice is harder because it wants to banish itself, and going first, Vikings struggle, so it has to win in the next round after siding, which is where it got interesting. It was trying to work out what was sided, what wasn't. Now, as you'll see if you watch the list, he had some Molchami Perleus for Ryseal, just draw with their summoning. It had 2 Solemn Strikes and a Call By, just good staples. But Solemn being a counter trap, so it can't be traded onto. Call By to remove things from the grave to stop effects happening. So that's good. And those, then it gets interesting because most of so that makes about 6 of the 15 side deck. Well, we've still got 9 more. This is where it goes heavy against Malice by siding in Lancia, which everyone's siding in. Malice, because it just stops the special summons, and did Chaos Hunter, and then he did Dominus Impulse, which is a new negate, but locks you out of playing certain attributes. And it turns games into grind matches because it likes playing the grind matches. They can explain it much better than I can. It's about what the cards and how the deck was built and put back together, but it was, excuse me, it was nice to see decks that don't necessarily do well and been around, but it's nice for some people to see the meta decks can be beaten on the right day, because as much as the skill is an element of luck of draw, but because he knew the weakness was Malice decks, he sided, most of his side, excuse me, oh dear, yeah, most of his side deck was made for Malice, because that's a deck it particularly struggled against. We dedicated 9 cards of 15 just to one deck, because it's a meta deck and it's one that's, when it gets going, particularly if it goes first, it's hard to eat. Oh, excuse me, I really am tired today. But yeah, it was interesting to see. You can also, if you search in YCS Birmingham 2025, the semi-finals and the finals are the first 2 matches you'll see, so you can look at those. You can watch those just if you didn't see it, to see the deck in action. But one thing is, by all means, look at the list and play around with it, but as a couple of us were discussing in the server last night, so Wednesday, no, Tuesday, sorry, it's Wednesday today as of recording, I'm just going out Friday, so yeah, we're discussing new Blue Eyes deck we're building, and we're discussing Blue Eyes Jet Dragon and whether or not it should be played, because it's a useful card, but it can be a brick. So some people were deciding they probably were going to try without, and some of us were trying with it at 1. The point being, you should know what works for one person doesn't necessarily work for another, depending on play style and what you like. Oh, usually, really am. Right, so yeah, that's it. Lost my train of thought now. Yeah, it's those preferences, and just because the list worked for one person doesn't mean it's going to necessarily work for another. So I'm building a Blue Eyes deck up, the new structure deck right now. It is what it is. I need to test it, need to refine it, but it's going to be to my play style, not anyone else's. And people have slightly different takes on what they will or won't play, depending on budget and what cards they've already got, what they like to play. tech they think is going to be useful in the meta or mirror matches. But yeah, it was nice to see. Go to it. I say I'll leave a link in the description so you can see their video, and I can explain the list much better than I can. So yeah, I'll see you Monday.